Hey guys, it's been a while since you've seen my face. My account has not been hacked. What I was doing with that last video, which is no longer viewable, but there were some numbers that were flashing, and there was a code that if you worked it out, it would direct you to a secret page on my website. There wasn't any prize or anything. It was just sort of like an Easter egg thing, and I sort of made it like one of those numbers station type mystery, spooky things, and well, it freaked people out. And I think one person unsubscribed to me for it, but no, my account's not been hacked. Sorry if I scared anyone. I'm just trying to do a cool little code mystery thing, and I guess I was being a little too cryptic about it. I'm going to do an unboxing, as I said. I don't know. I don't think I've actually said that. Yeah, I just got this in the mail. As you can see, it is actually addressed to Super Train Station H. So yeah, it's definitely for me. And so let's see what's in here. Obviously, it's the first time I'm opening it as well. All right, here we. All right. Yeah, as you probably saw, yes, Team Froakie. Yes, I am selecting Froakie as my starter for Pokemon Y, which I plan to download in the minutes after midnight on launch day, global launch day, and so I got a Team Froakie shirt from Hot Topic. They have shirts for the other starters too. I'm honestly thinking I'm halfway thinking about getting a the Chespin shirt just because Chespin kind of looks cool or whatever, but I'm not choosing Chespin. I I don't like his evolutions that much. And plus, can you believe they gave the Pokemon World's version of France a frog as a starter? That's just come on. I can't believe not many people have really been commenting on that. Yes, so I've purchased my first Pokemon X and Y piece of merchandise. So I've technically already purchased the game in a sense. What I did was I went to the Nintendo eShop. I'm downloading it. I'm going to download Pokemon Y. I'm downloading it because well, it's a sort of game I'm always gonna want to have with me, and I don't plan on selling it. And if I decide to start a new file, well, I think depending on how Pokemon Bank ends up working, it's going to be a lot easier to start new files while keeping all your Pokemon. So that I mean, people are complaining because I think it's going to be $5 a year for Pokemon Bank, but technically, but it's if it works the way I think it does, then it's going to save you the money. Because I know people, I myself have actually did this. I did this with Gen 5 of actually buying a whole separate copy of the game to do new files on, to do Nuzlocke or specialty runs, or just to start a new file through the adventure mode, and having another cartridge to migrate all your Pokemon onto to just basically serve as a bank for all your Pokemon that you actually train and have raised. Hopefully, Pokemon Bank fixes that depending on how it does or doesn't work. Um, so, yeah, I'm pretty happy. This is actually my first Pokemon shirt. I generally do not buy shirts, like, I generally don't buy commercial t-shirts that often. I know I did a lot in high school. Really, since then, I've very rarely have I bought any shirts with commercial messages on them, but, I liked it. I thought it was cool. The fact that they actually put, the hashtag on there, it kind of shows Nintendo's been very sort of, well, Pokemon rather, has been very sort of very media savvy leading up to this with pushing the hashtags for the different starters, and even coming thinking up of these shirts. Actually, come to think of it, this is the first Pokemon shirt I've ever owned. No, which is, yeah, you know. But then again, I haven't really generally been big on buying merchandise and collecting stuff. I've just sort of been a fan of the games and not technically, theoretically, not even that big a fan of the games. Like I still haven't even played Gen 4 yet. I'll play through the Sinnoh games eventually, sooner or later. But yep. So I bought myself a Team Froakie shirt. I haven't thought of what I'm going to name my Froakie. I was thinking maybe Madison or Maddie if it's a female. I don't know. Well, anyway, what I was saying before about the eShop. Excuse me, I'm just sort of going stream of consciousness. Yeah, I want to download it because I'm not going to sell the game ever. It's the sort of game I've always want to have with me. I could have another major, retail title in the cartridge slot. I'm not the sort of person. I'm not going to download every retail game that's on the eShop just because I can. I sort of have a strategy to it, depending on how often I may or may not play it. If I know that I'm never going to want to sell it, uh, so I might get something if I get Sonic Lost World or something for 3DS, I might have that in the cartridge slot. Or right now I still haven't beaten Ocarina of Time 3D. Or when I get Link Between Worlds or any of those other games I'm looking forward to for 3DS, I can maybe have that in the cartridge slot and have Pokemon Y always be there. As if I'm somewhere for a long time and I'm playing through a bunch of games, I don't have to carry a bunch of cartridges with me, which is why I love the eShop and downloadability so much. Even though I don't want it to replace the option to buy a physical copy at retail. Um, now, um, I think I. Oh, and the thing I did, like I said, I technically already bought Pokemon Y, or at least the money for it's already in the eShop. Because what I did was I went and I acted. I went into Ocarina of Time 3D because you could download that on the eShop. They're going Ocarina of Time 3D and Pokemon Y are going to be the same price. So I acted like I was going to download download Ocarina of Time 3D on the eShop, and it's asked, you don't have enough funds, add funds, and I hit click to add funds, and it adds the exact amount you need for the game plus the exact amount of tax for my region. So I went ahead, added the funds, but then didn't download Ocarina of Time 3D. I just exited out of the eShop. So that way, when I go to download Pokemon Y, I'll just go in and download it. I'll have the exact amount in the eShop ready to go. And so I won't have to go through that phase of, punching in my credit card information or entering in my authorization code and just download it. But the thing is, ironically, Nintendo's doing some they're doing some launch stuff in Nintendo World. I know there's going to be a lot of probably activity at Comic Con. Really, it's not worth it to me. That's not the wisest way I could spend my money. I do not feel like going to the city just to sort of sit around and. Well, first I plan on downloading anyway. I guess I'd be downloading it off the Nintendo World Wi-Fi. I mean, it's really cool going there for launch events or whatever. I mean, even for Pokemon Black and White 2, there were people camped out there the night before. It was a pretty big deal, and I was kind of surprised because those weren't really, major new entries in the series. But, yeah, the fun of, you get to, see a lot of people and hang out and chill out online or whatever, but it's not worth it to me. I'd rather just have a nice, quiet launch experience at home, especially since I can download it. I don't even have to go to a shop. I have a friend who says his GameStop is actually doing a midnight launch for Pokemon X and Y, which I really wasn't expecting because what I was hearing, excuse me, let me get my shirt out the way. What I was hearing was that GameStop had a policy of not doing a midnight launch for Pokemon X and Y because it was a kids game or whatever. But apparently that's not the case anymore, and a few GameStops are doing it midnight launch for the game. And um, let's see, what else do I have to say before I just end up totally wasting time and prattling on. Um, yeah, that's about it. What I plan to do for launch is I'll probably actually be out with my friends come midnight or close to midnight. Well, what I plan to do is probably going to come home. I'm probably going to download the game if I'm back after midnight. I'm probably just going to download it, hit, purchase it officially, actually purchase it on the eShop, hit download later, just leave the system on my cradle, and I'll probably have work in the morning, and I guess I'll come back after work, or, and then I have other stuff to do. And I'll get to play. I'm definitely playing it on, the launch day. I'm gonna put a good hour in. But depending on some Pokemon games, an hour isn't really barely even gets you out of the first town. I'm pretty much totally. I really don't know much about the game, and that's why I want to keep it. For that reason, I'm probably not going to be reading the comments because I know there's some spoilers out there and stuff. It's funny when the game was first revealed about January. It was like maybe it was the week of my birthday actually in January this year. What they I posted about they announced Pokemon X and Y, and someone a pal of mine got really upset, and they were like, you're posting spoilers, da da da. I didn't ask to be spoiled for the game, and and they mean well, they're a good person and everything, but really all they showed were the three starters, the two main legendaries, and like a few ambiguous screenshots and some ambiguous like footage. It wasn't like any plot detail or anything. It basically wasn't any information that wouldn't be on the box of the game. It wasn't like show any plot information. They just basically announced the bare minimum that these games exist. Uh, so that's pretty much it. I've, you know, not making as many videos now. I've got a lot more to concern myself with. I miss doing the videos, but you know, real life comes first. And that's it for now. And thank you very much for watching.